Welcome back, Jamanatics! I'm actually excited for this video because I will be doing a collaboration with four rather, of my closest friends. But the other two will just be sending their links, so I will actually attach it below this video. But in this video, there are actually two that will be with me. First is Miss Honey Gil Jansimbulas today, and then Miss April May Daile. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go! So before we start with this tutorial video, let me just give you a few FYIs. We actually call Miss Honey Gil Jansimbulas Ate. Yep, that's the correct spelling. 8. But Ate means big sister or older sister in the Filipino language. Why? It's not because of her age. Nope, I'm older than her. It's because she had experiences in her life that gives her more advantages than us when it comes to decision making. And experiences, of course. So, Ate Honey, take it away.
Good day everyone. For the next topic, I'm tackling the file handling in Java. So, our outline for this topic are: first, what is file handling in Java? Second, what is a stream? Third, the Java file methods that are necessary to perform basic operations of the file. And lastly, the file operations on creating a file, getting file information, reading from a file, and many more. So now, let's start to explore file handling in Java from the question of what is file handling in Java. File handling in Java implies on how to read and write a file. Java provides the basic input and output package for reading and writing streams. It uses java.io as the package that allows to do all the input and output tasks. What is stream? It is the sequence of data, and Java uses this concept to make input and output operations on a file. Stream has two types, the byte stream and the character stream. When we talk about byte stream, it mainly incorporates with the byte data. And for the character stream, it is the stream that incorporates characters. Now, for the Java file methods, there are a lot of available methods in Java, and I have some of the examples below. First, the canRead, test whether the file is readable or not. CanWrite, test whether the file is writable or not. Create new file, creates an empty file. Delete, deletes a file. Exist, test whether the file exists or not. GetName, returns the name of the file. GetAbsolutePath, returns the absolute path name of the file. Length, returns the size of the file in bytes. List, returns the array of the file in the directory. And imkdir, which creates a directory. Now, for the file operation in Java, first, you need to create a file. Next, you need to get the file information of the file. Then, write information to the file. And lastly, read the data from the file. So in order to understand this in a better way, let's try to run some codes. So now I have some example here on how to use file handling in Java. For the first topic, let's learn how to create a file. For this one, I created a class called createFile. As what you have seen, I also imported the file class, which is this one. Next is, in order to handle some errors, I also imported the IO exception. So inside in our main method, I have two blocks of code here, the try, and the catch. Inside the try block, I've written the file myobj equals to new file and the directory where I want to save the file, which is the directory of E, or in my case it was the data volume E, with the inside in the folder of file handling with the name of a file which is file f1. So if my obj create new file, if the file was successfully created, then it will print file created with the name of the file which is file f1. Else it will print file already exists. So if there has errors, the catch block will catch those errors and it will print an error code. So before I run this program, let's see to it that the file we were trying to create wasn't made already. So let's go to the directory which is data volume E. Along with the folder file handling. So as you can see, it's empty, and let's try to run this code. So here the output is file created and the name of the file, which is file f1. Let's double check this one if this file was successfully created. So here, as what you have seen, the file was in here with the name of file f1. Again, let's try to run this code and let's see what's the output. And the output says that the file already exists. Now for the next topic, the second topic, let's learn how to view the file information of the file. With this one, I have the name of the class called file information. And also I imported the Java file, the file class rather. Inside the main method, I'm creating a new file in this directory, which is the file myobj equals new file, and with the directory of data volume E, or let's say the file we previously added. So if if this file exists, then the system will print the file name of the file with the getName method. Next is the absolute path of the file with the getAbsolutePath method. Next is it will print if it will print true or false if the file is writable or not with the canWrite method. Also, it will print true if the file is readable with the canRead method. And the file name, the file size of the file rather in bytes with the length method. Else, it will print the file does not exist. So let's try to run this. So here, the output says that the file name of the file was f1 and the absolute path of the file, which is the data volume E with the folder of file handling and the name of file f1. Then it's writable, true, unreadable, also true, and the file size of the file in bytes, which is 0. So let's try to add some text in this file. Let's say, welcome to Java. So now let's try to rerun this program. So the file size of the file change with a number of 16. Now for the third topic, let's try to write some text in the file, or add some text of the file. For this one, I created a class called write to file. Also imported the file writer and the IO exception, which is this one. As what you have seen, we have two blocks of code here, the try and the catch block. Using the myWriter method, let's try to write a text with this directory, the in the data volume E, with the folder of file handling and a file name of file F3. And we are trying to write the text Java is the prominent language of the millennium. And we will close this code, this text, and it will print. So if this text is successfully added to this with this file, then the system will print successfully wrote to the file. Else it will print, or rather than the catch block method will catch these errors and it will print an error occurred. So let's try to run this. And the output says that it was successfully wrote to the file. Now let's cross-check this one if it was successfully created. So as you have seen, we have another file named file F3. Let's try to open this file rather. And it says that Java is the prominent language of the millennium. Or let's say that the program successfully created. And then let's try to add some text in this. No, not this one. Maybe this one. Let's try to add some text in this file. Let's say be ready for it. Why I am adding some text here with the file name of this file, which is file F3. It is because that in file handling in Java, we are able to read data in the file. And it is the last topic for this tutorial. And let's save this before we proceed. And let's open the read from file. So here I have a class named read from file. Also I imported the file class, the the file not found exception, and the util scanner. We have also a two blocks of code here, the try and the catch. So if the file myobj, which is the file name of the file which is the previously we added, the file f3, it will scan using the myReader method. While myReader has next line, so whether the file has next line or space, it will also count or read the data. So if this system was successfully read, then the system will print out the data or the data of the file or the content of the file. And the catch block will catch those errors and it will print an error card. So let's try to run this. And the output is Java is the prominent language of the millennium, and the previous text we added the very before it. So as you have seen that the codes here are running perfectly. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope it helps you to understand file handling in Java. Thank you.
Just like Ate Honey, let me just give you a few FYIs regarding April. April, we actually call her Abril. For some of you who doesn't know, Abril is the Tagalog or the Spanish term for the month of April. This giggling bubble is considered as the baby of the group because she is the youngest and the sweetest. Let's start with Java Abstraction.
Abstraction. What is abstraction? In object-oriented programming, abstraction is one of the three central principles along with the encapsulation and inheritance. Through the process of abstraction, a programmer hides all but relevant data about an object in order to reduce the complexity and increase efficiency. The abstract keyword is a non-access modifier used for classes and methods. The abstract class, it is a restricted class that cannot be used to create object, or to access it, it must be inherited from another class. While the abstract method, it can only be used in abstract class and it does not have a body. The body is provided by the subclass or inherited from. When and why to use abstract classes and methods. To achieve security and to hide certain details and only show the important details of an object. Advantages of abstraction. First is the main benefit of using an abstract class is that it allows you to group several related classes as siblings. And the second one, abstraction helps to reduce the complexity of the design and implementation process of software. So, here's the example video of abstraction.
You can see that I have used the abstract keyword to declare this particular class, which is person. This person class includes private data members, which are name and gender. Similarly, I have also included another method, which is an abstract method, and I have declared that method using the abstract keyword, and inside the abstract method, I have to return some data related to the person class. Now, let us move on to the next class, which is the student class. This particular student class is a normal class, and this student class is extending the abstract class, which is person. Inside the student class, we have some information related to the student, which are student name, student gender, and student ID. Here we will be extending the abstract class, which is person, into the student class, and from there we will be extending the details of name and gender. Now let us try to execute this program and to understand this in a much better way. As you can see, the program has been successfully executed and the data is also been displayed here. According to the output, the names of the students are Priya, Karan, Kumari and John, and their respective genders are also being displayed here.
Now, before we start with my topic, let me just remind you that for you to fully understand what Java polymorphism is, you actually need to understand first what is Java inheritance. I have provided the links below this video. You can click any of them. So enough of that. Before we start, let me just share to you a little terminology for our topic. What is polymorphism? The word polymorphism came from the Greek roots poly, which means many, and morphe or morph, which means form. So basically, a polymorphic object can take on many forms. It can be represented by a pointer to any of its ancestor classes. A polymorphic function can also take on many forms, or it can be made to operate on objects that are actually of different types. Now, since polymorphism means many forms, it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. Now, as mentioned in a different video, inheritance lets us inherit attributes and methods from another class. Polymorphism uses those methods to perform different tasks. This allows us then to perform a single action in different ways. Now, the next video, I will be showing to you an example of Java polymorphism. For my example, I have already created a superclass called animal. Inside this superclass is a method called animal sound that simply does system out println. And this superclass have subclasses. These are the pig and the dog. Each of them displays or printouts the different sounds of the animal which the animal makes. Now, observe that I have used the word or the keyword extends after the name of the subclass. After extends, it is followed by the name of the superclass. This is how we initialize inheritance. This keyword is actually used to inherit from the superclass animal. Since we have already created our superclass, our subclasses, and the methods under them, or the method rather under them, we are now ready to create the codes under our main class. Inside our main class, I will type in the name of the superclass, which is animal, followed by the name of the object of which we will attach our subclasses. Now, I will name this first object my animal equals new, which means a new attachment to the first class or the superclass animal, followed by my pig, which is also an object to be attached to the pig subclass, and my dog to be attached to the dog subclass. Calling out our classes is quite easy. First is you're gonna type in the name of the object that you have created, period, the name of the method under the subclass or the superclass that is attached to it, followed by, of course, the parentheses and then the semicolons. I will be doing this also with the my pig and my dog, which also has the same method inside them. And then we will run it. Voila! It displayed. The animal makes a sound. The pig says wee wee and the dog says bow wow. So there you have it, guys. The links for the Java encapsulation and Java inheritance are all below. You can just click them for your reference. And thank you for watching this short tutorial video about Java abstraction, file handling in Java, and of course, Java polymorphism. Till next video, this has been Mary Axil Paolo. Saying, take care, God bless, have courage, and be kind.